Hollow Knight. Right away, let's get two things completely out of the way. If you're like me and struggled for ages to get into this game, then know that's because it's probably been sold to you the wrong way. And secondly, people giving this perfect 10s are letting their emotions get the best of them. This game has some fairly glaring flaws, and they are probably why this may not resonate with you straight out of the gate. What you want to know is not that this is a brutally difficult game where death comes quickly and can cost you dearly, and that's why you'll be addicted? No, deaths usually aren't the end of the world here. All you stand to lose from dying is your currency, but you can track your ghost down near where you died, easily defeat it, and get said currency back. The rest of all progress you make here is saved no matter how much you die, and the game has some Souls-like challenge to it, but you should mostly go into this expecting a Metroidvania, one that's got vibes all over the gaming map, from Celeste to Cuphead to Dead Cells to Zelda and even Mega Man. This is an adventure game, with a subtle yet ever more touching and engrossing narrative. It's never choking you with dialogue or character interactions, but you are very much going to be caring about these little creatures before even being aware of how attached you've become. What you should also expect are some control and design flaws. They're not atrocious, but they do exist. Checkpoints are a bit too rare, leaving you routinely running long stretches to reach a failed boss encounter for another go. The map system can be so vague that you're given differing markers to place for yourself at times, and you may do a lot of backtracking through non-ideal routes. Combat feels pretty responsive and evolving as the game goes on, but is also a bit basic. Hitboxes and the more challenging bits of traversal are not as cream of the crop as those other contemporaries I mentioned earlier, so things can feel a bit unfair at times, and I wish it was easier to tell what your next objective is. While I like meandering in a game like this, my patience has its limits and was tested more than a few times in Hollow Knight, checking whether or not I could access open-ended paths on the map, just to realize it was a 75% or better fail rate. Please don't forget that I rated this a 9 though, while I make a mountain out of the game's molehill of drawbacks. Looking past the bits of bad, this game got its hooks in me and left me feeling like an awestruck badass more often than not. Every enemy needs mastered, and I'm not just talking about bosses. Even if the harder enemies just tend toward tougher iterations of previous foes, their designs always fit, keep you engaged, and defeating them eventually feels like second nature. The platforming puzzles and use of upgrades to reach new areas and old locales are lovingly handled. The lore of the world is so unique that it's impossible not to feel like a kid seeing Harry Potter for the first time, and you will happily lose days to the obsessive hook of seeing what's down the next unexplored path. Whether it's a boss giving you a new power to try, or a new shop purchase giving you more reasons to re-explore the realms, you will struggle to put this game down, even when you promise yourself the next achievement would earn you a break. As for the plat, I'll never have it. It's a 10 out of 10 primarily because one of the trophies involves beating 40 plus bosses back to back without dying. And this is a game where certain bosses come in pairs and attack off screen, to say nothing of the controller input fails and delays I experienced on the PS4. Additionally, there are no accessibility options in Hollow Knight, so that less skilled and less patient players can experience everything. Take it from someone who got plats on the likes of Cuphead and Electronic Superjoy 2. This is not a chase for the faint of heart. It would essentially be like besting every boss in Cuphead without breaks and without dying at all while dealing with the mild wonkiness of the tough-as-nails controlling brutality of Electronic Superjoy 2. In short, Hollow Knight is an obsession-worthy title some of you may not even see the end of, and certainly not one I'd recommend going for the baby blue on, but you owe it to yourself to experience this world of wonders. The desire to throw in the towel during certain bosses or platforming sections made me want to rage quit this experience and call it an 8. But the moment you realize there are usually other places to go and other ways to empower yourself, approach the encounters, etc., you'll probably be right back on that 9 train with me. So to recap, it's a must play.